Hey you guys, it is William, Jonathan, and Sinan calling from Wiwibloggs and calling for a final time from the lush Liverpool lounge here in gorgeous Liverpool. It has been incredible, and the live show, the grand final, is tonight, just a few hours away. Wow. We're gonna quickly go through the top 10 in the betting odds and have a little discussion. Are you ready? Let's do this!
Emotional.
It is very emotional, Sinan. We are at the end of this, but let's start with the bookies' favorite. It is Sweden. Sweden versus Finland, basically, is what the odds are telling us. So why don't we take these in turn, starting with Sweden, Jonathan?
I mean, it is the bookies' favourites for a reason. Loreen delivers a stellar performance. Like, I've literally never seen her really give one bad rendition of this throughout any of the rehearsals, any of the live shows from Melfest to now. The staging concept. For me, it's just the emotion that she can deliver in a song, which her artistry in general has really spoken to me from Euphoria through all her other singles. She is just able to take, pop songs just that extra bit further with that emotional power, and that has just always gotten to me. And yeah, she is with a very strong chance.
She killed it in the jury show. She nailed it when it mattered most, right? She did not miss a note. She was strong, she was powerful, it looked great. It was really emotional. The press room was cheering. Me and Tom Hendrick, Wiwiblogger, looked at her and were like, well, she just won the night. It was unbelievable. Sure, some of her rehearsals weren't perfect, but they're rehearsals. That's the whole point. Yeah. Where else in the world do people sit there and judge your rehearsals? When you're at the World Figure Skating Championships, people aren't sitting there whispering that you missed your triple Salchow on day 2. No, they judge you when it counts. She's still in this. I think the jury vote's going to be huge. I do think she can be challenged in the televote, and that is not shade. That's just because there are other acts that may capture the mood better right now, or what we need. But we'll get to Finland in a second. But she is still very much the front runner. Sinan.
Yes, I think last night was Last night was, the peak of her, of her tattoo performance, ever. That raspy voice she did.
Yeah.
Oh my, that was the moment when you're like, okay, this is some Eurovision 2023 winner vibes.
Yeah.
And I still think that at the end she will be the one who will take the trophy for the second time, and take the crown, put the crown, and go home to Stockholm, Sweden. But I also feel like she will be challenged for the televote, obviously. Why? I think there's only one person that can challenge her for the jury vote, and that for me is Spain, Blanca Paloma. But I think Finland will get a lot of 12 points from the juries too. So yeah, for me, it's still Sweden, Loreen, Tattoo to win,
Okay, well let's do this Finland versus Sweden. We're moving on to Finland, who is currently the bookie's second favorite, and we've been saying this all week. For 2 weeks. Momentum has been building for Finland. This is the act on the ground that people are talking about. When you're in the press room, at first they were whispering Finland, now they're openly saying Finland. And I want to explain why I think that is. Sweden is pop perfection, dark dance pop, polished, gorgeous, hear it on the radio, big hit. It's got all of that going for it.
I love that.
It's very dark. She moves on the box, but the box is in some ways static, so she's in place. Finland, since Uuden Musiikin Kilpailu, the national selection, they've said, look, let's contrast with her as much as we can. Their performance is bigger, it's more playful, it's brighter, it's bolder with the pinks, the greens, Käärijä, his shadow really large, that silhouette. It's more vulgar, the tongue comes out, and you see the cunnilingus motion on the shadow. They move, they come out of the box, they move forward, they press to the front of the stage, then they go back. Again, dynamism. Anywhere they could create a point of difference with Sweden, they've done that. And it's interesting, you have the head, which says Sweden, but I think for a lot of people, the heart is saying Finland. The heart is saying, let's let the underdog, the one who isn't already established, something quirky and different, old school Eurovision where people could be fun and not have to worry about pleasing the jury. That's the battle that's going on here. You know, the heart and soul of Eurovision. Where are we headed? Do we want to go for more radio-friendly, not jury bait, because Loreen's song is just a great song.
Yeah.
Or do we want to honor risk and reward risk and people who take a chance?
We can do that as well. I don't think like if Finland don't win, it will be a bad thing.
No,
oh
no,
my
no.
gosh, the impact.
Girl, I'm just creating drama for the video.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to create drama for the video, Jonathan.
In all honesty, I don't think there's been a year where I've wanted a tie more than this year. Like, I would love for them both to win for different reasons. Like, by far in every jury show that I've been to, Finland has received just the biggest reaction. The audience really gets behind him. It is such just an incredible performance with those LED screens and the shadows behind him, and then the dancers coming out of the crate, and it's just got loads of moments in there that's just gonna grab people's attention. It's like I can clearly see this scoring like 300 plus in the televote. Like, there is no doubt about that. It is all down to whether the juries have ranked him maybe 8, or if it's just going to be lots of 4s and 3s. Because if it's that, then that's going to stifle things a bit.
So I actually think the juries will respect this more than people think, because juries are not just song people, they're TV people. A lot of these jurors, they don't make music, they don't write music. Sometimes they're journalists, sometimes they're producers. And I think this is smart TV. When you look at Finland, the way they've done it, it's so thoughtful. The fact that, you know, he's added spikes to his trousers and those spikes are on the silhouette. There are certain camera cuts. There's the dynamism when the rainbow pops out. It's suddenly this like joyous LGBT celebration. It tugs on heartstrings while at the same time being silly. And I think striking that balance is not easy, and they've managed to accomplish it. We're going to come to this later, but I think Italy could win the jury vote, honestly. Like, I really do think Italy could challenge for the jury. We'll come to that. But and then I guess, have we all had a spin on Finland? Have you gone with Finland?
No,
Please.
I think that Käärijä is such a charismatic person, such a precious creature. You know, the way he the way he looks at you and smiles, it's you feel happy. You know, with him you can have the best party ever. Oh my gosh, like. If Käärijä makes a party, we are all invited, it will be the biggest party and the best party in the world. And you know, as for the performance, it's so impactful. It's so I don't know. It just makes you feel nice. And if you feel nice, you are going to vote.
Do you feel nice?
I feel nice.
Are you gonna vote?
Yes, of course.
All right, Jonathan, do you feel nice?
Yes.
Are you gonna vote?
Maybe.
Okay. You know, I don't actually vote, and it's not because I'm stingy, but maybe tonight I will vote.
Yes, girl.
I'm not
open
gonna
up
lie.
that purse.
I've been in love with Käärijä since Uudemuzingakilpailu. You can call me biased. Call me biased. Probably gonna vote for Finland.
But you have to vote.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will.
I hope so. I will be watching.
I do wonder if it's going to be like a Netta Eleni situation where Eleni really got the build up during the rehearsals, but then Netta sort of still, because she was the favourite beforehand, maybe sort of lost momentum just because people were looking for something new.
Yeah.
So whether Loreen
Yeah.
will still sort of come in there and win at the end of the day.
This reminds me of Eurovision 2012. Loreen was the heavy favorite, and we were looking for any old excuse to create drama and excitement. We're like, so people were like, people said Pastora Soler's gonna win, Spain is gonna win, and we're like, yes, La Reina de la Luna. You know, we were going off, and then our girl did not win, and our girl, you know, she didn't come close. And the thing is, I remember Loreen got a snowflake in her throat during the rehearsal. We're like, oh my gosh, she's gonna choke. She can do it.
Was that the jury rehearsal?
I don't know, but she was fine. And our girl, she's amazing. And you know, she wins.
Yes.
I think
She unlocks some feelings that you never knew you have them.
She's
you know, Loreen.
amazing.
Yeah.
She is. I'm going to be so happy either way. But we move on. We've got to talk about the third favorite, and there's a big jump after this. So those are the two heavy favorites, Sweden and Finland. We move on to Ukraine, and I'm just going to start by saying I don't think we're going to see a repeat win. I don't think Ukraine is going to take this. I think there are a few things at play. One is that host countries are penalized, right? There's this whole host country curse. Even if we're not physically on Ukrainian soil, the theme of Ukraine comes through very clearly throughout the show. So I think that effect, that drag, you could say, will happen. I don't think this song is as strong as Kalush Orchestra's was, and I don't think the staging is as strong. I do like it. This is not shade. I'm just comparing it to the epic performance from last year.
It's enough.
And the sad reality, this is a sad reality, because we need to keep the war front of mind. We need to keep the war in our consciousness, and we all need to be supporting, Ukraine, freedom, etc. But I think in the general public, there may be a degree of malaise. Like there may be, not that they don't care, but it's been a year, and so people start to forget. The show definitely reminds you of the situation in Ukraine.
Yes.
But I just don't think
The whole
that
time.
wave of momentum in the televote will be there. At the same time, you could argue Ukrainians who have moved all over Europe now, displaced Ukrainians are voting in their new countries. So maybe the benefit to Ukraine will come in the televote this year rather than the jury vote, because there are more Ukrainians abroad. In any case, I don't think this is challenging for the win. I do think it will do well, though. Jonathan.
Yeah, I still think there's enough momentum behind sort of the Ukraine situation to push them into the top 10 again. All the shows that I've been to, literally whenever Ukraine is mentioned, there is a lot of round of applause. So yes, whilst the feeling is not going to be as strong as it was, like, Eurovision last year was held like weeks after it had just started. So it's not going to be as strong as that, but I still think there is some momentum in there. In terms of the song, yes, personally, it's not for me as strong as Kalush Orchestra's was, and it doesn't necessarily grip that same emotional feeling in terms of the audience. But this sort of R&B electro pop is very different to everything else in the show, so it does stand out in a way. They've got a pretty good spot in the running order there at 19th, so I definitely see, whilst they might not be challenging for the win, I could definitely still see Ukraine in the top 10.
Ukraine is one of the most beautiful countries, in the world. And I think that we are going to feel that very much with that performance, because I absolutely love the graphics and their outfits, with the hearts, the steel hearts. Ukraine has that heart of a steel, and the Ukrainian people. Even though the song is not a song that I listen a lot on Spotify, I think people will still be willing to vote for it, and and just to support Ukraine and liking the song and supporting the entry. And these guys, they are such a great performance, and I can't wait to see how this is going to be turned out.
Absolutely. Next up, sorry, there's so much going on today. And I'm like trying to multitask, do the computer, do the download, do the upload. We need to upload that Moldova performance from the Lush Lounge. Yes. I've sent it to Ron and Orny. Shout out to Ron and Orny. Yes. Hey, y'all. Hopefully they will do that. All right, we move on. Israel is the fourth favorite. They had a huge bump during the jury show. They really started climbing. We should say they're still, percentage-wise, they're still further out. Like they're at 35/1 compared to Finland at 14/5. So they're fourth favorite. I think this suggests to me they did well in the semifinal, and that jurors are really responding to it. Clearly, some kind of information leaked, because confidence in this really grew. There was an issue in the jury show with the dance break, with the camera work. Not with Noah, but did you notice?
Yeah.
Basically, they couldn't remove their trousers quick enough. It wouldn't come off, and I mean, it was fine. I didn't even notice. I only knew this because we bumped into the head of one of the leaders from the Israeli team afterwards. This is looking good. I don't think this is going to win, to be perfectly honest. I don't feel that in the air, but I think this is going to do very well. I could see this coming top 5. I mean, it's in that stretch of songs at the end where, you remember songs at the end, and this is among the most memorable of them. It's the only kind of, weirdly it's out there, but it's also mainstream. It's got this mainstream radio pop production, and it comes towards the end. After this you've got Croatia, you've got United Kingdom, Slovenia, but this is like the dance bop of the ending. So yeah, it's looking good for Noah Corell. She sounded great in the jury show. Like her voice, anyone who's doubted her, silence the doubt. She silenced y'all with that voice last night.
I think this has really come into its own now that we've been able to see it live, because in the studio cut there was a lot of talk about it's 6 songs in one, it doesn't really know what it wants to be, but it feels it was built very much for a live performance to have that build in there, the staging elements, and then obviously the dance break at the end, which is like one of the moments of the entire 37
Yeah.
song lineup. So yeah, I can see why there's been this build in confidence in Noah and Israel, and definitely seems like they are pushing towards that top 5 element now, and I can certainly see that.
I feel like even top 3 is
Yeah.
possible, you know, at the end, because it has so much things that you love about it. You know, the vocals, her outfit, her face. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that glowing face, girl. And you can see that she worked really hard. You know, she didn't attend any of the pre-parties, and we can see why. It's obvious because you have to have the most fit body and mind to perform that kind of a song live, and you know, singing and dancing at the same time. And I think the juries will appreciate that, just like they did with Chanel last year. You know, she got a lot of 12 points. And I feel like Noah Kirel is aiming for that too, and also televote, because when you go on Twitter, on Instagram, you see a lot of people, you know, started posting a lot for, you know, unicorn, some kind of, you know, gifts, some, you know, dance moves, and this means that it has that impact that she needed, that Israel needed for this song, and it creates, you know, it's popular. It's much more popular right now, that song. And well, I'm going to vote for it. So she's getting my vote.
she's sorted. She's won.
Yes.
She's got the Stuttgart vote, girl. Yes, the game in Stuttgart have spoken.
You know, as she sings, she's turning everybody into unicorns.
Yeah.
So unicorns, you better vote.
I don't know if unicorns have phone. Don't they like
They do.
televote with their temple thing?
Yeah.
Horn? All right, we move on. Still, 5th favorite is Norway, Alessandra. Let's just keep this real. There was major hype about this at Melodi Grand Prix when it was, you know, top of the global Spotify viral chart, and it has definitely subsided. Yeah. Sweden and Finland stole the thunder, and I don't think she ever fully got it back. She's queen of the kings, but she ain't queen of meteorology, because the thunder never came back, y'all. And I hate to say that, because I love this song and I think it looks beautiful. For me, the limiting factor here is the voice. I don't know if she's been ill. I've heard rumors in the press room that she's been sick, but I think this all goes back partly to there being auto-tune in the national selection. I don't necessarily know if everyone knew what they were buying when they voted, because what we're seeing now are real vocal issues. In the jury showed there were vocal issues.
I think it's the pressure mostly. I don't think she has any problems with singing it, that song. I think the pressure is there.
Okay, that could be a contributing factor. Yeah.
Yes, because her song is one of the most popular songs on Spotify, and people love her, and she feels that pressure, and she wants to make, you know, her country proud, and she's 20 years old.
Speaking of 20,
yeah.
She's got a good running order position in number 20, so
yeah.
I think that will definitely help her.
Yeah, and you know, last night there was a small issue with her voice, sadly. But either way, I think I always thought that she would get more points from the public, from the televote. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see this winning the televote. I really don't. Do you see this winning the televote?
No, not when Finland is in the mixture. No.
Yeah.
I mean, the song is still an absolute banger, and I think people are really going to respond to it. Like even the people here in Lush, Norway has consistently been one of their favorites, and it's one that they always want to put on play in the speakers in the shop and stuff. So yeah, I can certainly see it, you know, not necessarily winning the televote, but in a similar situation to Kaino, where they did really well in the televote and maybe the jury drags them down so that they're like 8th overall sort of situation, which, you know, is still a very respectable result, and Alessandra would definitely be proud of that.
Yeah,
She should be.
She is Queen of the Kings, and this song is excellent.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm really tired. We're right before the final, and I'm just trying to, cut through the pleasantries for once, because I'm always like, girl, I love everything about you, except for the following.
No, I mean, the most important thing here, like for all of these countries, is if you are you going to listen that song after Eurovision?
Yes.
If you are going to listen that, if you are going to follow them, if you are going to buy their music, if you are going to their concerts, that's the most important thing. You know?
Well said. Well said. We move on. Sixth favorite is Spain. Now, there's been a lot of talk about how Spain is performing right before Sweden and who that hurts, who that helps. I still think that this is going to do very well with the juries. We were talking about this could fly or it could flop, right? For months we've been saying that. Not because it's bad, but just because it's so particular. And it's like, will people outside of Spain be able to access this? And I think what we've seen in the press room is that people can access this. People are really impressed with the staging. It's beautiful. It's completely, on one hand, bonkers. You have these backing vocalists with a high-pitched voice wearing curtains, and people at a party who are drunk will be like, oh, look how funny that is. It's not funny, it's cultural, it's beautiful, but they'll perceive it as funny and they'll vote for it because they're drunk. Do you know what I mean? You know who I'm talking about. We all know those people. But then people who respect foreign music, foreign cultures, want to learn more about history, etc., they will also love this. The lighting, for me, is what makes this special. The stage lights make it contemporary. We go from ancient 23 whatever to 2023, honey. This is just so modern. Blanca Paloma, White Dove. I'm not saying pigeon, I'm saying White Dove, because she comes in peace. She may be here to slay, but she comes in peace.
It's just a stunning performance. Like, I know it is a polarizing sort of style of music, but that almost doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter that some people might hate it. There's just so many people that absolutely love it and really getting bored with it, and I can see that both from the public and the jury. So Spain have just had one hell of a glow up over recent years.
Shout out to Eva Mora. Queen Eva Mora.
Reina de
Best
España.
HOD, honestly.
And this is just propelling them even further towards that, and I'm really excited to see where Spain go. Yes, that might be another sort of top 5 situation where they don't manage to get the crown, but this is just a really strong showing for Spain, and I just really hope that they can build on this.
Do you need a tissue? I know you're gonna get emotional.
No, I'm just so tired. I sneezed like twice. Reina de la Luna
Reina de la Luna.
is what I'm going to say, the Queen of the Moon. That performance is, beyond the feelings, like beyond. It has intimacy, it has power, it has, sensuality. It's spiritual. It's Spain. Spain, since last year, they really said we are back and we are ready to serve. We are ready to slay. And, I think that's, as I said before, in the beginning of this video, this is the song, this is the entry that can challenge Sweden with the jury votes. I feel like this would come, top 2 with the juries for me. Yes.
Yeah,
And it's very a risky song, as you said, and that's a nice thing because juries love that.
Yeah, I think taking the risk is important. And you know what? Regardless of where this finishes, it's not embarrassing for Spain.
Yeah.
I think we get really hung up over, who comes bottom 20 to 5. So, I don't think this is going to do poorly, but if it did, it wouldn't matter because the quality is here. Fans respect this. In Spain, people love this. This is a song that showcases culture and it honors that, and it will go down in history as one of the most unique performances from this era. We move on. Actually, level with Spain, it's France, Lazara. So I'm in 2 minds about this. I love the staging, love the plinth, very beautiful lights. You can't bring the Eiffel Tower here, so you make her look like the Eiffel Tower. Cover her in some drapes, and then she removes it, and you've got the lights. And then she's almost like a UFO floating on a stick. But the thing is, in the preview clip, the voice that was not good in the semifinal. It felt flat. It didn't feel dynamic. I kind of wish she was able to move more.
Yeah.
Maybe if instead of being on a singular plinth, she was on a platform so she could work her body, because she can move. Yeah. She has this sensuality that really fits with the French disco era, but she can't showcase that because if she moves, she's gonna go splat, and their insurance policy can't cover that. You know what I'm saying? No, because it'd be dangerous. She could really, it's pretty high, babe. If she fell off, I want to see any of us survive that. So, no, honestly.
Yes.
But
it's dangerous.
I don't think this is the winner. Before we saw the staging, I thought this could come second and third, and then end up winning, in some kind of mathematical calculation, but I'm feeling less confident about this winning now based on the vocal performances we've seen. But if she can pull it together vocally when it counts, maybe this can go, 6, 7.
Yeah, I don't think coming 6th in the running order is going to help her exceptionally, particularly when, you know, you've then got Spain, Sweden, Finland all right after that, and it's probably just going to take a bit of momentum away from her, I think. The staging is good. It's certainly different to absolutely everything else that we've seen. I do feel like, you know, once you've seen her on the plinth, and the fact that she then has to stay there for the full 3 minutes, it just gets ever so slightly repetitive at points.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's great when they can bring in the French flag at the background. That's a nice moment, and we get that sort of extra element in there. But yeah, there's a lot of love for this in the fan base, but it's not one that I've seen sort of always pushing towards like the top spots, really.
Yeah. Yeah, Sinan?
You know, that staging, I like it, I really do, but personally, I would have loved to see her dancing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying dance something Elena Ferreira, Chanel, or Noa Kere or something, but you know, some classical Vegas, Paris vibes.
Yeah.
You know, with 2-3 queens, you know, backing dancer, and she's like, disco sound. But yeah, I didn't get that, sadly. Well, I would have loved to, but I really like the way it is now. And at some point, she's like, standing, and she's like, I love that. This is so powerful, you know, with the hands. The key point of this staging, of this performance, is like her moving her, upper body. It's like she's like, every dome, and that flag light on the back. I love it. This is so iconic.
You know, when you were standing there and only the top half of you was dancing, it almost seemed like mythology, like some kind of gorgeous, nymph in the sea coming to life to slay the world.
And it's enough. I think it's enough. Well, I don't know if it's going to win. I don't think so, but
Let's move on. 8th favorite, and this blows my mind, the United Kingdom. Odds of 100 to 1. I'm sorry, this is not, no. I love Mae Muller. I love the backing graphics. I think it's visually quite interesting, very mod, but I don't see this contending for the top. And sadly, I think this is aiming for the bottom 5. If I'm totally honest, I'm just keeping it real, babe. I love the studio cut deeply. We gotta keep it real. This is the time for honesty. I love her. I just think something's not gelling. Something is not gelling. Basically, they've reduced her dancing so that she can focus on the vocal, which was a smart idea.
Yes.
But it just feels, maybe it's because of the running order. Last night it felt flat. When I was watching the final run of songs, which includes, you've got Alessandra in 20, Norway that is, you've got Israel, Noah Carell, you've got Croatia just before her. I mean, coming
Slovenia.
out of, Slovenia, such natural performers. That's all this charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, and then the madness of Croatia. And then you come to the UK, it just feels flat compared to what came before it. And I think that's why I'm feeling so upset right now, because on its own in rehearsals, I was like, okay, I was like, they can get up there. This will be mid-table. But now I'm just worried. Something isn't gelling. Maybe it was nerves. But I love her spirit. I love her energy. I love the use of the tongue. She's very playful and quirky. But I just think if we look at the cold, hard facts of what comes before it, this is going to be maybe 20 to 26.
I am slightly worried. The UK is always overinflated in the betting odds just because the betting sites are in the UK.
They want to make that money, honey.
Yeah. And I think particularly now that it's hosted in the UK and there's just a lot more fever about it in the country, a lot of more people are probably going to put their little bets on May to do well. I mean, in the arena last night, it went off properly. Like everyone was dancing, everyone was partying, and when the UK won the fake jury result at the end as well, everyone was dancing along to the rerun of the song. So yeah, I think the trick they've missed is that they haven't utilized the backing singer sort of in record to help lift her up a bit more. That's why it feels a little bit empty. Particularly, when you've got the likes of Cyprus who are using all that sort of backing vocal to really help lift Andrew up. I think they could have done with a little bit more of that. In a way, the crowd singing along are her backing vocals.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, last night's performance in the jury final was the best one I've seen of her do. And I think having the crowd there is really help lifting her and giving her the spirit to go that extra mile. But I do agree in the fact that it's a bit of a weaker ending to the show just because it's a light pop song.
Yeah.
In the same way that Denmark was a slightly weak opening to semi-final 2 because of it being that sort of more light, playful pop song rather than a bam sort of ending. And when, again, I think particularly Israel coming just a few songs beforehand is the female bop of the year now, I would say.
Yeah.
That is going to overshadow May ever so slightly. I am hoping that we can avoid bottom 5. It would be a real shame to go, from some rider all the way back down to the bottom again, particularly when the home crowd is watching. And I do hope we can sort of push towards middle of the right-hand side of the scoreboards. But there is a little bit of worry in there.
Yeah, Sinan.
I literally don't agree with you.
Is this winning the Eurovision Song Contest?
No, but it's not coming last. Oh my gosh,
Where's it coming?
guys. I have faith in her. I have faith in people who love this song, and they will cast their votes, even if it's 1 point, like one vote. I feel like it's not going to be last. Oh my gosh, it will be max. Let's say max 20.
Okay, so actually that's within what we were saying, within 20 to 26.
But I feel like it's well, personally, I would have loved to see her top 10, top 15, something like that, and she deserves that.
But why don't you think she'll make top 10 to 15?
What?
I'm curious why you think it's going to come 20th. I just want...
No, not 20th. Until like from first position until
top 20.
Top 20, yes.
Okay, so would you say top 5, top 10, top 15, or top 20? Girl, I need
Top
the...
15.
So you think she's coming 15th?
No.
I need
not
the
exactly
narrative to
15.
match the ranking is what I'm trying to
Why?
say. You've given us the story, now I need to know the number.
I'm going to vote for that song. I'm
Okay.
going to vote for a lot
Girl,
of the songs
you-
so that I love, that I listen to Spotify, and that is going to make me vote. So I think that she, at the end, she will come top 15 or top 20 max. But I don't want her to be,
I love how you're spinning this. You say top 20 like she's gonna win. What you mean by top 20 is she's coming 18, 19 to 20th.
Well, just that you said that. No, you said that. You said that you think that she will come last. So I think maybe other people think that too. That's why they are not going to vote. That's why I'm thinking she may come top 20. But I would love to see her.
This is some debonairimi Wiwibloggs.com
No,
kind of narrative.
No,
Listen,
I don't
no.
like scoreboard. Like
I respect
don't like
you.
scoreboard.
I respect. The thing is, you can like the singer and the song. It's probably my most played studio cut of the year.
Yes.
But you got to separate that from the live performance and the staging.
Why?
Because people vote on the live performance and the staging.
Okay, but once
If we were voting for
the life
studio
is not
cuts-
bad. The life is not bad.
Not
it's not
bad.
a bad performance. It's a good performance.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
And
We move on.
if you support the song, you will support the singer, and you will support the country, and you will support the staging, and you will vote for it.
Well, level with the United Kingdom is Italy. And now this blows my mind. People are sleeping on Italy, myself included. When I saw this yesterday, I was absolutely blown away by the power of the voice, the power of Marco's presence, the simplicity, the beauty. He performs after Alika or before Alika from Estonia?
Before.
Just before Alika. Do you know who he's after?
Albania?
Oh, after Albania. So you're gonna go from the Kardashian family singing Duya, the stepsister, the mother, the father, shaking their
Cinderella
tail,
queen,
doing their thing.
yes.
Yes.
Love her.
To the simplicity and the beauty of Marco Mengoni. This could win the jury vote. I really think this could challenge for the jury vote. Maybe. So you've got the Kardashian family up on the stage singing Duya with all this fire, blowing it
Cinderella
up,
queen,
staying in
yes.
place.
Yes.
And then the simplicity of Marco saying, I don't need anything exploding. All I need is my beautiful diamond sort of shiny rhinestone top and these gorgeous arms. And I'm going to sing it. I'm going to slay it. I'm going to tug on your heartstrings. And I'm going to have men on trampolines jumping off some stairs. It is subtle, I promise. I just think it's very powerful. I think it's very, very powerful in the voice, the presence, the emotion, the simplicity. Top 3 jury for me. I don't know how the televote's going to take this. I don't know. Italian tends to do well. And I think that there's not many. Usually there are a lot of power ballads, right? And this is not a power ballad, but this is an emotional ballad. So maybe Marco Mengoni is going to scoop up all the votes that would have been for the power ballads, if you know what I'm saying.
Which position at the end?
I think
Overall.
Oh, that's a really good question. I actually do think this could come 5th. fifth or sixth. I think he'll do better than L'essenziale.
Marco is a very seasoned performer, and you can tell that, you know, his extensive career since he was last here in 2013, he just like gets on the stage, gets it done, and transports you into his world. It's not one that has always gripped me personally. It's not always been in sort of my top, but I can appreciate where the love of this song is coming from, and his voice and the emotion that he does get across is always really beautiful. Yeah, I can see it coming pretty similar situation to L'essenziale, so like 7th again, sort of that sort of ranking. I think there are just, you know, people always go on about it's the worst Eurovision year on record, but I think we've got a good number of very strong contenders. So even if this does come like 7th, I think it's a really strong showing again from Marco.
And also he is a very, very calm artist, like very like okay with himself, very okay with the things he do, and he doesn't give himself a lot of pressure, you know. And also on the stage he's very calm, and the way he sings and the way he looks at the camera, it suits you, like it's soothing, you know, the way he performs. And I also saw a lot of people love that song, you know. They have their that song on their top 1, top 3, and they should vote, definitely. And about the jury winner, that's very interesting. I don't think he would win the jury vote, but I think the juries are going to appreciate that very much. Top 5 jury, definitely for me.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It really popped out last night to me, and when I went to sleep, this is the one I was thinking of. And that is not because of the dance. I knew you were going to say that. We had a great interview.
I didn't say anything.
Girl, I could feel it.
That was my reaction.
I felt rumbles. I felt the sofa was shaking. We met him yesterday, and he was so kind, so warm, and he told me about how he hated his body, and he was really embarrassed to show his body, and he said, F it, I'm going to show my arms because now I love myself. And it shocked me, because when you think of Marco Mengoni, you think he looked good.
He's confident and stuff,
but
not
even
always.
he faced these issues. It was really touching. You can watch that interview on the Wiwibloggs YouTube channel where you are right now. All right, rounding out the top 10 favorites, interestingly, is the show opener, Austria. That is, of course, Taya and Selena doing the choreo over here. I love this studio cut beyond belief. I love the staging. I love the graphics. For some reason, last night, maybe I was tired. It did feel a little flat to me. I'm not gonna lie. It felt flat, but I'm sure they'll bring the energy tonight because it's the grand final, and these women are so talented. I love them. I love them together. I think this is playful. I think they've got great merch. I love the color. This is just a very, how do I say this? This is a memorable performance, and one I think that in 10 years they'll still be playing this at Euro Club and we'll still have warm feelings about.
It's a very strong opening to the show. I think it's going to grab a lot of people's attentions from the very start. You know, coming first can sometimes be a bit of a detriment to some people, but we've seen the likes of Laura Tesoro, Maria Yaremchuk from 2014 still ending up in the top 10 despite starting the show. And I think this could be another one of those. In a way, yes, the jury will love this slightly, but I don't think the jury show is their main focus point. It's going to be tonight's grand final at the televote where they're really going to start pulling in all the points, I think. From where I first saw it in the dress rehearsal, I think this elevated a lot more when they had a live audience in there. And the fact that literally everyone was singing along has really lifted this up. Because the staging is not overtly complex, it's just LED screens in the background sort of thing. There's not necessarily a massive wow moment in there. But for me, once the audience starts singing along and really get behind Taya and Selena, that just feeds through the camera, and I think will help push them up.
You know, as much as I really like the staging, I would have loved to see some kind of a, you know, High School Musical, theatrical, you know, stuff on the stage. More stage props, something like that, because, you know, this song, well, something like the music video actually. But, you know, I absolutely love Who the Hell Is That Girl? Like, who the hell is that other girl? And everybody will remember that song, and everybody will, you know, listen to that song, you know, after Eurovision, which is the most important thing for me personally. And, you know, they will get more points from the televote than the juries. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, this chaos bop could really, could it even come top 5 with the televote, you think?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, like it's just, I think if it had a better running order position, it would come even higher. I would love to see this toward the end of the show. Sadly, that did not work out. Let's remember Maria Jaromchuk came, what, 6th from first? She did really well from first position, so it is possible. But we move on now. We've covered the top 10, so I just want to go between us. If there's anyone else you want to bring up, I'll kick this off.
Serbia. It's literally towards the final.
It's last.
Last.
The odds are 750 to 1.
What is going
Can I actually, on that note though, honey, so this is on Odds Checker. There are 6 countries with odds of 750 to 1. Cyprus, Albania, Portugal, Slovenia, Lithuania, and Serbia.
I can't believe this.
I mean, I could pick out Lithuania. I think is being really underrated.
Yes.
Because she comes in the chaos, upbeat ending of the show, so she really pops out. And actually, her vulnerability and her frailty, and then the big power note. It's really beautiful and touching in this setting, and particularly in that run. She is not gonna. This is not about coming last, but she's not gonna finish near the bottom. I see that as a comfortable mid-table, even maybe 10th, depending on how things pan out.
I think a lot of the countries that are listed at the bottom of the betting odds are routinely there. I think some of them, like particularly Albania, Slovenia, Serbia to extent as well, on a UK-based betting odds, they never quite creep up towards the top. Unless they've got like a killer fan favourite sort of situation. So I think, like the UK being overrated by UK betting odds, I think some of these countries are often underrated by them as well. Personally, I'd love to see Portugal doing well. I think Mimikat has an amazing song. Second in the running order isn't necessarily going to help her too much. Serbia, I personally love it, but I also know there's quite a few people that get put off by it.
Yeah.
So I can see a situation where it is more right-hand side of the scoreboard rather than sort of creeping up towards the top. If I was going to pick out one entry that's not in the top...
Can I guess what it is? Are you talking about these bottom ones?
No.
Oh, never mind, sorry. Well, before you move on to that, Slovenia should not be in the bottom 5.
Well,
I'm so
what
sorry.
the hell?
Slovenia's coming top 5.
Top 5.
It really is.
Literally.
So much charisma.
Like,
the
so
juries
Portugal?
are going to love it. The public's going to love it.
And they have huge fan base.
Ooh, Jonathan
Slovenia.
disagrees.
Joker.
Slovenia is in my top 5, and I probably will vote for it. But it's the sort of song that a lot of people get on board once they really get into the artist and joker out themselves. I found that a lot of people on their first listen, it skips them by ever so slightly. In terms of like the bands, I think Australia.
Was it first viewing though? Because once you see Boy and you're not looking away, I'm sorry.
I mean, it was first viewing, but yeah, I think with the amount of songs that we've already listed as potential top 10s and favourites, I do see a situation where they are more 17th, 18th overall.
Ouch, that's painful to hear.
My God.
I'm going to politely disagree, but I respect you.
Aggressively.
I enjoy your company, and we are moving on. All right, look, one other...
Can I say something?
Yes.
Portugal, Serbia, and Slovenia deserve to be in the top 10.
Your top 10 is real crowded. There are about 26 songs in your top 10 if we keep going this way. Listen, the other big mover of late is Belgium. They're now 11th favorite to win and narrowing. So this has really changed hearts and minds, the live staging, the dancing, and the visuals. I think they've made it much bigger, much grander, and much gayer. And you know what? I'm here for all of that. I think the visuals, the dancers on the screen, they look larger than life. They are larger than life. It's like a skyscraper. But also having Pussy from the House of Pussy out there slaying.
That person.
So I guess you could call her Puss. That might be a nickname. All I know is she's slaying, and this gets the audience going. I feel like this song goes down really well in the UK. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the UK audience, this just feels like a night at heaven, frankly. Jonathan, thoughts on Belgium?
I think it's a situation where there were a number of fan favourites in the Belgian selection that maybe took a lot of people's attention away, and it's been a little while for people to just sort of forget those and just really actually focus on Gustav himself and his song. I definitely agree that they have elevated the staging by far for this actual live show. Some of the...
I'm so sorry, that's quite too many, Laura. I was typing to Debit.
Some of the crispest crispest LEDs of the entire show. Like that moment where you've got him, remember when they tried to break us, but look at us now, and they're all on that LED screen is really a moment. I don't know how necessarily the juries will go for this, but I can see the televote, like, I don't know, 6th, 5th in the televote sort of situation.
I love it. I absolutely love it. At the first, it was like a love at first sight. Yes, we reacted to it actually together.
Yeah, but the thing is,
after the national final, after he won, I was like, yes, this is a song that I'm going to listen to. This is some RuPaul Drag Race kind of song that it should be. Added to the lip sync challenge. Oh my god, imagine the queens dancing, like doing the splits and the dead drop. Yes, I absolutely love it. Love it.
All right, look, we cannot go through the rest of this list, or this video will never go up because our Wi-Fi is not amazing. Final thought, I just want to go around and each of us predict the top 3 overall. This is not your personal top 3. This is what you think is going to happen. Okay. And I am going to put Jonathan on the spot first. Jonathan, drop.
Well, I think Sweden and Finland are fairly obvious. Do you want me to put them in an order?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this. Come on.
I'm gonna go with my head still and say Sweden first, followed by Finland. I feel like Finland could be the new Verka Sadushka situation where they just get nipped to the post, but it just becomes this eternal fan favourite forever that we'll hear about forever, and Käärijä will probably come back and perform at countless Eurovisions to come. In terms of the final in the top 3,
it's hard. Picking number 3 is so hard.
It's hard, yes.
Well, actually, why don't we, because I have a feeling, so what are your top 2? Do they align with Jonathan's?
Yes,
okay, so what
Sweden and then Finland.
So you think Sweden will win?
Yes.
And then you think Finland, okay. So then I'm also, you know what, my head tells me Sweden will win and then Finland will be second, but I do think Finland's going to have a massive televote score, and I do think Italy's going to challenge for the jury score, so I think that if Finland has the biggest televote score, it could actually end up winning, so I'm going to go on a limb and say Finland wins and Sweden is second, and then it's time to predict the 3rd place, and this is where we go back to everyone else. Jonathan, you've had a minute to think about it. Who is your 3rd? Not your 3rd, your predicted 3rd.
At this stage, I'm gonna go with Israel.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say Israel, but I'm actually thinking Spain, but I'm going back to Israel. I'm saying Israel as well.
Yeah, I think now that we've seen this live and it's coming so late in the running order, televote will push this up, and I think now that I've seen that the juries can respect something like Chanel, I don't think she'll have done exceptionally bad in the jury for them to drag her down by any means.
Good point.
Same. It's gonna be phenomenal.
Can we just say it together? It's gonna be feminine, 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 feminine.
Hey, feminine, feminine, feminine. Yes, unicorn, top 3, definitely.
Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Do you agree with the Eurovision 2023 betting odds heading into the grand final tonight? Is it a race between Finland and Sweden? And can Israel or Spain or even Austria or Italy pip them at the post? Let us know here on Wiwibloggs.
Follow us across social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, through to the grand final, and of course then through till 2024. We'll be here throughout the next year.
Oh my gosh, and enjoy the show. Support your favorite songs. And thank you so much for being with us. Lush, we love Lush so much.
Yeah, and I also love all of you who have already purchased my new book, Wild Dances, My Queer and Curious Journey to Eurovision. If you're in Liverpool, it's actually sold out at Waterstones now. Thank you so much. There is no more stock. And Amazon is having delivery issues. So there are a few bookstores who still have it. Blackwell's Online has it, for instance, and they're shipping for free to the UK, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia. But the stock is being replenished as we speak. So hopefully you'll be able to get one soon. And the ebook is available on Amazon. Yeah, y'all can go out and slay. But thank you so much for your support. We'll see you later. Bye.